I'm doing a little bit of work around the house. I'm fixing this up. The problem is I forgot my multi-tool, but I do have dog treats, so maybe this will work. Come! Sit. Okay, shake too. Stay, stay. Stop, okay. Alright, okay. So, I always keep a multi-tool on my dog, so this treat will work. Sorry. Alright, so this is the Leatherman Squirt P4, and I'll go over this and kind of show you a little bit more about this. It's such a nice fall day today. So this is the Squirt by Leatherman. It's the PS4 model. I don't actually carry this on my dog. And before I go any further, make sure to like, subscribe, do all that stuff. It helps a lot. Let me bring you in a little bit so I can show you this better. So, like I mentioned, this is a very small, this might be the smallest mini tool made by Leatherman. And it's become my go-to for when I don't want to carry a multi-tool. So this is probably, how I would describe this is this is the multi-tool for people that don't want to carry multi-tools. Let me compare it to my car key here. So it's comparable to a key fob. It's actually smaller than my, my truck key fob and more narrow. And overall, there's not really any reason you can't carry this in any pocket, and it'll fit in pretty much any bag. So I carry this in my all my EDCs whenever I'm not carrying a larger multi-tool, which is pretty much about, let's see now, about 90% of the time. I carry my larger multi-tool when we're camping, or if we're going on longer hikes, or if we're doing things like snowshoeing where I need the pliers to potentially do some fixes while we're out on the trail. So I keep this little carabiner on it. I mentioned these before. I bought like a 10-pack of these off Amazon for 20 bucks. And I use these on my keys and things like that. So let me take that off really quick. This does not come with the tool itself. The tool does have a little keychain loop there, which is nice. There's not a ton of tools on here, and that's kind of what I was looking for. I'll go through each one. It has a very nice set of pliers. These are almost like needle nose pliers. They're very narrow at the tip, and they have very tight tolerances, so they're not loose. And overall, I'm actually really impressed with the quality of these pliers, and they work much better than I would have expected. So moving on, it also has a wire cutter in the middle here. I was using this wire cutter this past weekend when we got in the accident. I also used the pliers, so this came in handy a lot when I needed to remove some pieces of loose plastic and cut some things off my truck before we got back on the road after we had that deer strike. So moving on. It does have a small knife. Honestly, it's not the best quality knife, but I wouldn't really expect much from something this price range. It's about as good as you would expect, and it's not anywhere. I can't complain, but I'm not gonna write home about this this knife. Going on, it has a file. The end here you can, I guess, use as a little pry or a very large flathead. On the other side, we have scissors. These are probably my second favorite thing after the pliers. I use these quite a bit on the trip as well to cut loose string. We had to jerry rig some masks together, so I was cutting some masks up and tying them together to work with our costumes. And yeah, it's actually pretty nice little scissors. This is a small screwdriver, or just a point or a pry if you need to use that for anything. I'm trying to get the autofocus to work here correctly, but let me work with me here. So going on. As a larger flathead, and also a bottle opener. To be honest, I wasn't really using this bottle opener over the weekend, and just since I bought this a couple weeks ago. I've been using just the pliers to open bottles, which has worked out pretty well. And that's pretty much it. It doesn't have a ton of tools, and I don't really want it to have a ton of tools. I was looking for something with pliers, scissors, and a really basic knife. Most of the time I'm going to have my EDC knife, so the knife wasn't a huge issue. Also, the screwdrivers were nice to have. So, like I mentioned, not the craziest multi-tool, but it's so compact and so well made. It's also made here in the United States that I can't really ask for much more at this, especially at this price range. I got this for $20 from REI. I had a $20 coupon, so this normally retails for $40, and I would highly recommend it to everybody. It's a good replacement for somebody that is maybe looking for like a small Swiss Army knife, and you care more about like pliers than you do necessarily a larger blade. So now this has become a staple in my everyday around the city and just not serious EDC. So I would highly recommend it. I'll put a link to it in the description. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see everybody out there.